No tips, no tricks, no hacks, no education today, just pure plant love because, well, just because. I just want to showcase the 10 plants I'm absolutely obsessed with right now. Some are new, some are old, some are expensive, some are cheap, some are rehabilitated. They've all got a little bit of a story, but I promise you, if you love plants and you just want to experience the joy of plants, this video is perfect for you. And apologies in advance if I make your shopping trolley just a little bit bigger this month. I do have that effect sometimes. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, where do we start? They're all behind me. They're all lined up. There is no particular order here. You may have seen this recently. Now this is a beautiful, beautiful Philodendron Rio. It's not a pothos, it's a philodendron, even though I do get them confused sometimes. Now, you may have seen this one recently because it was one of the 3 plants that I bought in my recent series around how to shop for new plants or how to buy the ultimate perfect plant. But I couldn't believe that I got this from Bunnings. It was around 20 Australian dollars for a, what is that? I mean, it's a short pot, but it's probably about 18 centimeters, 180 millimeters. I have no idea what that is in inches. Sorry to my US people up top. But the thing I just loved about this is I just found on a whim, I wasn't looking, but the variegation on this plant is just absolutely stunning. And I literally keep going to it every day and checking it to see the new leaf with the newest variegation. So just absolutely stunning, beautiful variegation plants is starting to trail. I'm going to let this trail. I wasn't sure or not, but I'm also glad that I did showcase this one today because there is a stem here that has had a little bit of rot. So I really do need to propagate that. I'll show that as close up on a B-roll. I really do need to propagate that so I can do that straight away and I can pop more of this propagation into the plant itself, which is awesome. I think I'm also just going to find some hair clips or pins and just pin that around. So again, these aerial roots that are popping up here can go back into the soil and then hopefully grow some new shoots from there. So just an absolutely stunning plant, Philodendron Rio. And yeah, I am obsessed with this one. I can't stop staring at it, like all of them today, actually. Okay, number 1. Number 2, let's give this little guy. How adorable! This one lives in my, oh, I forgot to mention, the Rio lives in my lounge room under a grow light. And I wasn't sure if the grow light was strong enough because it was a fair way away, but it seems to be doing quite nicely. And the variegation is keeping up, so that's good. So this one is the plant that I bought at the last Collector's Plant Fair in October. And I was searching for it and it's a Hoya and I just absolutely adore it. It lives in my second bedroom or the second room that we have. It lives next to a west-facing window and I'm starting to call that room the Hoya escape room because not only is this one growing vines left, right and center trying to grow wherever it can, there's a couple of other Hoyas that are growing up my curtain rods and all sorts, which I kind of need to fix, but I haven't. I've just let it go because I just love the fact that it's crawling everywhere. But this Mathilde splash has just grown like I can't believe, considering how small it was when I first bought it. It was... Oh, I'll share a comparison because I did share this plant in one of my previous videos around the Collector's Plant Fair from October last year. Now, the thing I love about it is it has this beautiful splash. It's scalled the Hoya Mathilde splash, and the splash is there for a reason because it just has these beautiful silver, like, what is it, splotchy, starry kind of pattern on the leaf. And the more light it gets, the more splash it should get, the more like variegation it should get, which makes sense, right? But yeah, I just absolutely love it because it's just climbing. It's just trying to find a place to climb. And I was afraid it was going to get mealybugs because I found a Hoya right next to it that had mealybugs, which again is why I'm trying to keep on top of spraying it and be preemptive, not find mealybugs and then and then be post like scrounging around trying to figure out what to do. But yeah, just absolutely beautiful. Oh, is that a little peduncle thing? Might be a peduncle. Still needs to grow leaves. Still needs to grow. But look how many vines there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Just amazing. Just absolutely gorgeous, stunning. And it's just growing and I'm hardly doing anything to it. I give it a water when the soil dries out completely. And I can tell you, I let the soil dry out absolutely completely, like absolutely dry. I forget to water it sometimes because it's in a bedroom that I don't normally go to. But nice chunky soil mix and just a nice, beautiful, easy grower. The leaves hold quite a bit of water, so you don't have to water it very often. I would definitely recommend this plant if you do like Hoyas and you haven't got one yet. Okay, we're going to do the next one. And the next one is a plant on the floor, but this one has a story, all right? Check out the plant. Check out the leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very cool. It's growing ridiculously nicely. Where's the nice leaf? There's a nice leaf. So this is a Philodendron Plowmanii. So this poor girl has gone through a little bit of a journey, I tell you. I originally had this literally in the window just there. You can see that blocky kind of like a tile window. I had it there and it was really enjoying life, which surprised me a little bit because it's not the brightest place in my house, but philodendrons don't need the ridiculous bright almost sunlight. They can do with a good strong medium to bright light, if that makes sense. It's a crawler. And I tried to put it on a climber. I tried to put it on a moss pile. And for a while there, it was really enjoying itself. But then it started getting too big. So then I decided to move it to somewhere new, which was in my bedroom. And it hated me. So didn't do very well whatsoever. Started losing leaves. I didn't like growing up a moss pole anymore. It had about 5 leaves. And the leaves were this big back then. But it just went south and lost all its leaves. And then started to grow off the moss pole. So it started to go horizontal. So what I decided to do is I moved it back to this spot and the plant was growing up and aside. So while I had this part of the plant with the pot on the floor, I had a chair under it. I put a pot underneath it and I put this horizontal big diffuser pot. I think it's 120 centimeters wide, which is actually a lot wider than I thought it would be. And so I let it grow into the moss, I had a little bit of a layer of moss and a little bit of dirt. I let it grow into it. And then once it grew in 4 or 5 different leaves and I saw the roots were really strong, then I chopped it. So that's what you've got now. So let me see if I can, so you can see I actually have to go back. It's literally just grown the way it needed to fall into the sphagnum moss in the dirt. But I've got to repack the soil back into it, fill it up a little bit. I've got some work to do. And also she's now starting to come out the edge. She's coming off the edge of the pot. So I do need to move her back a bit because we've got all of this room. And some of the leaves have been a bit close to the grow light. So there is 1 or 2 leaves that have a little bit of yellowish. I think you can see it on that one, can you? A little bit on the edges. And that one, that got too close. You can see on the top there. Anyway, but I mean, how stunning is it? How stunning are those leaves? And because the stem is really, really thick, every new leaf just comes out just massive, massive. So yeah, I can't stop staring at every new leaf that comes out of this baby. And there's another new leaf coming and she seems to be very happy right now. So yeah, I'm very happy with this one. But the additional thing, let me put this down again, is the stem that lost all of the leaves. I propagated it and I haven't actually lifted this off properly. So let's do it together. There's no handle, which is a bit annoying, but that's okay. You can see them, like it's outgrowing. Look at him all. And that's only covering half the the propagation box. Look at them, like these leaves are just, I think almost every single one of them is growing a new plant. And the leaves are already huge because again, the stems that I've cut up were huge. They were huge leaves when I was cutting them. So there's my little Plowmanii sticker. So she's gone through an absolute journey. She was happy for a little while, for a long while. Then I made her really not happy. Then she became happy again. So I cut her up, chopped her up, and now she's got a whole lot of babies. That leaf is pretty bent because it just doesn't fit, poor thing, into the grow box. So I've got to do something about them. Oh, see, that leaf is not enjoying it because it was just scrunched up against the grow box edge or something. So yeah, there's a couple of new propagations. Oh, look, there's a little one as well. Just beautiful. Again, I'll just make sure there's lots of B-roll for you to see, but just absolutely stunning. But I do need to propagate all of those. So definitely gone on a journey, which is awesome. But it's so beautiful again. It's amazing how plants can come back when you just give them a little bit more love. It's also amazing how they just don't like to be moved sometimes. Right, number 3. No, number 4. So this one here. Check this baby out. This is, it's in a self-watering pot, which obviously has more water than I thought. This is my, hard to see, Xanthosoma Mickey Mouse. So probably should have put the water out. So it's got a little bit of damage there. But the reason why I'm obsessed is look how many babies it's come out. I literally just started with one and it's got 6 growths in it now. And look at the little babies. Look, there's a little baby one. Look how little cute they are. Look how little cute they are. And then these two here, which are probably, or three, which are probably my favorite. These guys do like a lot of water. They're in the Alocasia, Colocasia, Xanthosoma family. So you do need to make sure that the soil stays damp, not too wet, not too dry. You can see here it's got a little bit of damage, what looks like damage, but that's actually how it's grown. And that's because it got too dry for too long. So it didn't have enough energy in its leaves. Plus, these guys, like alocasias, are very hungry. So you've also got to make sure that you feed them quite regularly, which I wasn't doing for a little while because this guy for me lives outside and I just basically forgot. So yeah, she lives outside, but I just can't stop staring because she's just growing new little babies every single time. My Mickey Mouse. And this one, I might cut off. It's an older leaf. It's starting to die out. But the reason why these Xanthosomas are a little bit different is an alocasia grows like a spear, like a proper leaf shape, whereas these are more like a square, almost a shield shape. So see, you've got the square at the top and then they come in down the bottom. So it's like a shield. Let's see if I can show you a smaller one. It's like a shield, just absolutely stunning. So yeah, I love looking at this guy. Every time I go outside, I just have to check to see if there's any new babies. So a beautiful, beautiful plant if you want to try something a little bit different. Not the easiest to grow, but once you understand what they're looking for, lots of food, very good lighting, consistency in how damp the soil stays, even though it's a chunky soil mix, they do pretty well for you. But they're not the easiest plant to get used to, so it's more of a intermediate plant if you want to give it a go. Okay, next one on the list is tiny, tiny, tiny. It's a slow grower. I've had this girl in my IKEA cabinet for a long time, and I literally bought it when it was just, those leaves were that size, that tiny little one. It's an Anthurium Luxurians. It's just absolutely stunning. But it is a slow grower, but it's got a brand new leaf. And I'm obsessed with it just because of the leaf shape and texture. And it's just a really beautiful color. It's like this. It's not a dark green. It's not a light green. It's like a spearmint green almost. Soft spearmint greenish. It's really hard to explain. I hope you can see it in B-roll. But the color and the texture and the heart-shaped leaves are just getting to me and I absolutely love it. I recently put some sphagnum moss on the top to help it grow and it's helped it stay a little bit consistently humid, but it does live in my IKEA cabinet where it's quite high humidity. It's about 75–80% consistently, but I do have fans in there as well. A slow grower, but consistent growth I'm finding, probably because it loves being, it's about 30 centimeters away from a grow light. So I think that's about 12 inches size of a ruler, right? So it's about 12 inches away from a grow light, but it is a good grow light, Barina grow lights. If you have them, they're absolutely stunning. So yeah, see, I'm supposed to be showing you, but I can't stop staring at these plants. I'm actually really obsessed with them. So beautiful, cute little Luxurians. Oh, love it. If you see how this grows up just big and beautiful, I think you'll also understand why I'm absolutely obsessed with this one right now. But it seems I'm obsessed with every single plant right now, it feels like. Okay. Now, next one you've seen around. Other people have this one. I can see why people are obsessed. It is my Alocasia Frydek Variegated. I love it just because of this one leaf. This one leaf is just, look at that, Variegation. Just look at it. Can't get it straight on the camera. And it has 4 main leaves. 1, 2, I don't know why he's facing that way. 3, that's the newest one. It's still in growth stage. And then of course 4 on the big one. Now again, this is not the easiest to grow. You can see I've got a few brown edges there and there. And I did struggle with my Frydek for a long time. Because it was probably in a spot that I didn't have access to very easily. It was hard to water and these guys do like to stay damp. I did change the soil mix, but I have tried one thing with a few of my alocasias lately. I'm not going to share the trick with you today because I do want to do a video about this one thing with alocasias, but it has to do with the soil pH. So you might want to look at that. But the newest leaf on the little corm baby is really lovely variegated. So really happy about that. And I can't wait to see more corms. But right now it's focusing on leaf growth and leaf, like everything above the soil. That's where the growth is. So there's not a lot of corms. But I mean, just the variegation on the leaves is why I'm obsessed and why I think everyone is obsessed. And it's not the easiest to grow as well. But again, I have got a little trick I'll share with you hopefully soon. Sorry, teasing you. But yeah, just absolutely obsessed with this one. I do look at it quite often, but I want the roots and the corms to grow a little bit more. Next one is this one. So this is another Anthurium on the list. This is a Anthurium Silver Blush. The newest leaf, other than the one baby growing, is this one. Just absolutely stunning. And the leaves are getting huge. I mean, they started off, I've cut off a lot of the old leaves, but they did go a little bit wonky. So this one lives in my IKEA cabinet and it got thrips. There was thrips in my IKEA cabinet, which was not a good thing. So I had to treat it a little bit. It is still getting over the suffer a little bit. So it's lost a couple of the old leaves. A few of the leaves are still a little bit yellow, but they haven't gone any more yellow, if that makes sense. And so I'm trying to just make sure to keep it healthy and happy. But because it's so wide with the leaves and the leaves are getting really big, it's really hard to keep in my IKEA cabinet because there's not a lot of space. So I don't really know what to do with this one next. I'm going to try moving it out of the IKEA cabinet sooner or later, but we're going into autumn winter here. So the next month will be warm, but after April, it's meant to be a warm April for us, but the next month after that is going to get a lot cooler. And I don't want to trial this girl out in the winter time. She needs a lot of humidity. But there is a brand new leaf coming out. She is growing just beautifully. She's gone through a little bit of ups and downs. You did see a baby version of this girl, I think, a long time ago when I was redoing my IKEA cabinet. I'll leave a link to that video in the left-hand corner. I think it's that one for you. I always get them confused, but just absolutely stunning. So yeah, every time I walk past, it's just the big leaf and I want it to stay beautiful and green. I don't want to give it too much bright light, but I don't want to give it too little bright light. It's just, yeah, just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, stunning Anthurium Silver Blush. With, I mean, just the heart kind of shaped leaf, the big leaf, the nice veins. When it's really, really healthy, those veins get quite silvery and quite like reflective almost. I mean, not actually reflective, but it's kind of what it looks like. But just, yeah, just another stunning plant. Okay. Look at this, baby. This is an Alocasia Gageana. I hope I say that right. Variegated, obviously, with yellow and green variegation. And again, I've had this one for a little while. I bought this when I had an ultra nursery visit and I would have hoped that the leaves would have got bigger by now, but at the same time, it's still in a tiny pot. But I did put it through a little bit of stress maybe 6 months ago. It went outside, a couple of leaves got burnt in a really hot summer. So I had to get rid of the leaves, which is why he's got like all of that loss. That got burnt, that part. So the rest of the leaf is beautiful, obviously. But in the meantime, that's the oldest leaf on the big plant. But in the meantime, it's just given me some beautiful, beautiful variegation plants. Variegated leaves, sorry. But look at the job it's doing of giving me puppies or babies or corms or whatever we're going to call them. Look at them all. There is in this pot, which I did not know is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 9, including the mother plant. And so 8 babies, and variegation on them is just beautiful as well. Ah, just absolutely stunning. I feel like this is what a mum feels like. Unfortunately, I don't have kids, but this is what a mum looks like. Can still be absolutely beautiful, but all of her strength is going into all of these babies and looking after her kids. So she's sacrificing a little bit of her strength to make sure that her kids are growing up strong. Isn't that quite cute? I really feel like this is like a Mother's Day plant for me at the moment. Anyway, salute to all of those mothers out there. But yeah, it has gone through a burn, but all of those leaves are gone, obviously, except for that one. But just again, just the variegation on the leaves. Look, it's the babies. It's the babies. So yeah, just beautiful, beautiful. How many have we done so far? Right. 1 on the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We've done 8, we've got 2 to go. Right, so the last 2, one I've had almost since the beginning of my plant journey. It's been around for ages. And one is probably no surprise that I'm going to end with, but it's definitely also been through a journey. Let me get to them. Hold on. So this one is my Alocasia dragon scale. So the leaves are pretty big. Look, they're the size of my hand. Well, they're slightly bigger than my hand. These are obviously the 2 latest leaves that have come out. So I originally had a dragon scale Alocasia plant. It wasn't technically this one, but it looked about the same. And then I think it got mealybugs. And at the time, I just left it too late. So it basically got mealybugs. And then I think I overwatered it or something. I can't remember. Something drastic really happened. It wasn't happy. And then it basically almost died on me. It lost all its leaves. So I ended up going into the base of the pot and I found all of these corms and lots of roots and lots of, all of this stuff in the base, even though there was hardly any leaves or no leaves left. So I ended up propagating them, and I'll show you here on the left here, hopefully. There is literally a photo or video I think I remember doing of all of the different ones and how they were. So I've taken all of them, I've propagated all of them. Some are for sale or sold, but I did choose 1 or 2 just to keep for myself. I've got this one and I've got another one, just trialing it. This new one is in leca, in a leca pot. It's just a self-made leca pot. Have a look at the roots. It's a self-made, look at that. Look at that! This one is just absolutely thriving. And not only, I guess the reason why I'm obsessed is because it's just come back tenfold, and I don't really give it too much love. I just make sure that the water doesn't dry out in the base, even though that has happened once or twice. But the leaves are just getting bigger and bigger. She lives in a west-facing window. I put her on the windowsill, but the only direct light she gets is probably after 4 p.m., 4 to 5 p.m. And there's also a big tree where the sun goes behind. So it doesn't get a lot of direct light, which is probably why it's loving life. And it is next to a humidifier. But the biggest thing about this right now, why I'm obsessed, is the spades, the flowers that she's giving me. Look. So there's one. There's a new one coming out there. And I also think, because how thick it is, there's a new one coming there as well. That's a new one as well, I think, because there's a spike there, there's a spike behind it, there's a spike there, and there's a spike there. So they've got, I think, maybe 3, maybe even 4 spades. I have no idea, all coming out of the main mama plant in the middle, and yet it's still kept all its leaves. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, what is it? 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got 8 leaves on the big mama plant and flowers. And, I know people find alocasias hard and they lose leaves when the new one comes out, but this girl has not done that. That's a new one. It's a new little baby leaf coming out from a baby plant. So I actually think if you're going to try an alocasia, try a dragon scale, because I do find this isn't as fussy as the other ones. Although saying that, maybe I've just found the right spot, because the original one I had, I just don't think I treated the best. And then on top of that, I've also just seen today, while I've been looking at this plant, I've seen all of this new growth coming out. Can you see that? Again, lots of B-roll to make sure, but there's lots of plants. So yeah, it's a dark room in this video, so I'm hoping all the lighting will be okay. So yeah, just absolutely stunning, but been through a journey, almost dead, come back alive, and now it's more beautiful than ever. And for a long time, I just ignored this dragon scale, and now it's back at the top of my, stunning obsessed list. It does remind me of dragon scales. It's quite a tough, thick leaf, so it does hold water quite nicely. And the pattern is like the dark and the light. I do love dragons too. I know they don't exist, but I do love dragons. I'm a dragon in Chinese mythology, Chinese zodiac stuff. So something about dragons I do really like. But yeah, just obsessed with the growth and can't wait to see what the flowers do. I'm going to try propagating it through seedlings, see how we go. Wish me luck, but yeah, absolutely stunning. That's number 9. And then my last one, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You know what this one is. But look how stunning this baby is. This is one of my Monstera albo, or Monstera borsigiana albo is technically the correct term. And if you've been following along for a long time, you will know that earlier on in my videos, I started redoing my IKEA cabinet. I had a Monstera albo in that IKEA cabinet. It grew to the top. It started growing wonky. It got burnt by the lights because it was hitting the top of the IKEA cabinet. And so I did another video chopping the whole thing up. It was probably one of the most nerve-wracking plant things I've ever done, because that was my most expensive plant. And I ended up with 13 different plants. I've still got probably about 10 of them. And I have selected 1 or 2 to keep for myself while I'm growing the others to still sell. But this is the one I'm keeping for myself. She lives right next to a north-facing window, does get a lot of sun. She's in the brightest room in my house. I feed her with silica. And I honestly didn't want to move her from the spot that she's in, because she doesn't have... let's just say she has all white and green leaves at the moment. I'm not going to even mention it. I don't want to jinx it. I've been trying to make sure she's not disturbed so she can keep as much of the variegation as possible. Fingers crossed I haven't stopped that today. But just an absolutely stunning plant. Yes, I know they're coming out of fashion and there's a lot more pink variegated other stuff. There's so much stuff out there, but I still think this is one of the most beautiful plants in my collection. Look at that stunning variegation. Can you see close up the color there? It's like a light green, a dark green, and a white. And healthy, chunky roots. Look at the roots. Look at the chunky roots. You see them? More like falling out, more chunkiness. And then aerial roots. So the thing I have to do is put her on a moss pole. And actually, I've got a moss pole. I've got a moss pole that here is, it's a new moss pole. It's sectioned. And it's 3D printed, right there. It's 3D printed. My partner got a 3D printer a little while ago. And yeah, I'm just going to use it to pop that one on, but she desperately needs a moss pole. So yeah, this is my 10th and final plant, but worth the wait. She is the absolute queen of my collection still. And she's got more aerial roots. You can see them there. More aerial roots coming out, like there. And look at the stem. The stem with the variegation on it, that's why you can see it's beautiful. It's a beautiful variegated plant because the stem itself has amazing green and white variegation all around it. It's not just half and half or a little stripe. It's got stripes amazingly everywhere. The lighting in this room is not very good today, unfortunately. It's brightish outside, even though it's overcast. It's very dark inside. That's what my house is like, unfortunately. So apologies if the lighting is bad at the end. But, you know, we're here for the plants, and I'll make sure there's a lot of beautiful B-roll in this video for you. That is my beautiful, beautiful, and a new leaf just there. I'm not going to touch it because I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx anything because she's just growing so beautifully. And look, to be fair, the white variegation in these things don't last very easily. It's really hard to keep, and I don't have a greenhouse. She's not in a greenhouse. She's not in a green room. It is in a room where the humidity fluctuates. Hopefully one day, you know, in 5 or 10 years, I'll be able to afford myself a big greenhouse and I'll grow it and I'll show you guys on this channel. Hopefully I'll still go with this channel. So I'm not, you know, I know sooner or later that something will go a bit weird. It's okay if it does, but ultimately, if I can keep the white in it as much as possible in a normal room, without a greenhouse, without a consistent humidity, I'll be happy. Which is why I started her outside of the IKEA cabinet and just kept her in the same spot. So yeah, as I said, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Monstera alvo. What do you think? Just absolutely stunning. Beautiful variegation the whole way through. Just absolutely love it. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little plant showcase. I honestly couldn't help myself with a little plant joy and a little plant love. But honestly, I just needed a bit of joy and I wanted to share it with you guys. I needed this just pure plant relaxation, obsession, deep dive, just to enjoy what plants are all about. So if I sparked a little bit of extra joy or extra plant love in your life with some of these plants, let me know in the comments. Drop in your comments what out of these top 10 was your favorite. Do you have a plant that you're absolutely obsessed with? I'm sure you do if you love plants as much as I do. So please drop that one in the comments below. I love learning about new plants as well. A few comments lately have taught me about plants I didn't even know existed. So lots of Googling for me. I love learning and I love plants, and that's what it's all about, really. If you want to continue staring at some beautiful plants, I'm going to leave you with this next video right here. It was my top 10 favorite philodendrons of the time. It's just all about plant love. So you can go from this plant love video to that one. Bringing you leaves, love and laughter. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope you have a joyful filled week, a lot of fun. Remember to, you know, appreciate the little things in life, and remember to just stop and smell the roses, literally and figuratively with your plants, and just enjoy them. Don't necessarily fuss about what could be, and enjoy them as they are. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in this next video. See you later. Bye. Videos around the Collectors Plant Fair from October last year.